flashing, rubbers burning, hearts are clashing, tires screaming that southern heat. 200 strong on the NASCAR beat. Lap 5 wreck on turn 4. Smoke so thick can't see the door, but somehow I slip right through like a ghost in red, white, and blue. 'Cause I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride, made it through the other side. Yellow flags like warning signs, but I ain't falling for their lines. Got nerves of steel, a shaky hand. This ain't a game, it's fight or land. Saw that 18 catch the wall, 21 spun, took out them all. But somehow I found the lane, like Moses through that fire and rain. Yeah, I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride, made it through the other side. No checkered flag, no champagne rain, but I kept it clean through the carnage and pain. One more lap, one more breath, a dance with danger, a race with death. Still I thread the needle, feel the flame. Every turn's a twist of fate's game. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, out of chaos into light. No first place, but man, I ride with fire still burning inside. Yeah, I thread the needle in this wild racing ride. Strapped in tight, green lights flashing, rubbers burning, hearts are clashing, tires screaming that southern heat. 200 strong on the NASCAR beat. Lap 5 wreck on turn 4. Smoke so thick can't see the door, but somehow I slip right through like a ghost in red, white, and blue. 'Cause I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead, but I ain't wrecked, I ain't dead. Sliding sideways, holding tight, praying hard through every fight. Got no wins, but I got pride, made it through the other side. Yellow flags like warning signs, but I ain't falling for their lines. Got nerves of steel, a shaky hand. This ain't a game, it's fight or land. Saw that 18 catch the wall, 21 spun, took out them all. But somehow I found the lane, like Moses through that fire and rain. Yeah, I thread the needle, dodge the flame, every pileup calling my name. Wrecks behind me, wrecks ahead.
All right, folks. Man, I hope you are ready for an exciting season here. Next Gen, we're bringing it back to your Racers Elite Network. John Ross in the booth. As always, here on Racers Elite, I have got my good friend and my co-broadcaster, Russ, in the booth. Russ, how are you doing tonight?
Man, I'll tell you what, it's been quite a few weeks since we've been together, but we got the band back together, and we're moving up in a big way here coming to the Next Gen series.
Man, I will tell you, and not only the Next Gen season, so we are here on Thursdays, right? I think last season we were doing Tuesdays, did a couple of Wednesdays, but we have moved up to the premiere. Here we go, Next Gen cars. We're going to talk a little bit about last season, which congratulations to Teft and Andrew. He was able to sweep the series. That's truck. That was Wednesday night in the ARCA car, and that's the Next Gen series here on Thursday nights. But we now have 4 series, as we're going to have a super speedway series starting up on Fridays. But Russ, it was a great season for that driver. We do have 15 now, it looks like maybe 17 drivers in the queue to be able to race tonight, and this is going to be the first race of the season. And I'm going to empty out this tower because I want to show you what we have going on for a schedule. So we're going to go to Atlanta, and that is where we're at tonight, and that is old Atlanta. Then we go to Charlotte, Indy, Sonoma. So you can see that highlighted in green, Russ. That is going to be that road course. New Hampshire, Nashville Speedway, Dover, Darlington, Texas. And then we're going to go playoff racing, Daytona, Kentucky, Auto Club, and Pocono. Talk to me about what you think this schedule is looking like here.
Well, you know, I'm looking at this schedule earlier, and you know, it's a little bit of a surprise to me because normally, you know, Racers Elite has kind of a, you know, maybe a third of the schedule are short tracks, and I was kind of surprised to see there really aren't that many short tracks on the schedule this season. I mean, a lot of you know, intermediate, you know, mile and a half, 2 mile races. So, I mean, it kind of changes up the trajectory a little bit of you know, possibilities of who could pick up wins this season.
No, that's a good point, and I have my thoughts. And I'm going to share them with you because just like we do every race, Russ, you and I have to pick a winner tonight, but I also want us to pick our driver that we're going to say is going to be a championship winner this season. And those out in chat, looks like Troy Thomas already out there checking in, saying this should be fun. And then Alan Experience saying, let's go. That is our good friend Alan Bergen out there as well. Alan does a fantastic job on Wednesday nights broadcasting. But as we see here, we're going to Atlanta. It's about 1.5 miles. It's an intermediate track. It is the old version of Atlanta, not the current Echo Park. You can see we're 77 degrees outside. On the track, though, 104 degrees, Russ. And this is going to be a slippery, sliding track here in these Next Gen cars.
Yeah, sure. I mean, one of the biggest issues that these guys are having right now that I've kind of noticed in practice is the bumps in the corners. I mean, if you if you get back on the throttle too quickly, you know, before you hit those bumps, I mean, it's going to send you. Those bumps have been very treacherous, and these guys are in practice, and they're trying to figure out the best way of getting through these corners quickly, but without risking hitting those bumps under throttle and spinning themselves out. So that's going to be one of the things we're going to have to watch out for tonight.
So as we look through this whole series, I think we're going to be shocked to see some drivers come back to us, and then we're going to see really some quality drivers added to this list. I got to tell you, Ed Jurgen, he's always here. It looks like right now he is sitting on that pole, and we got a little bit of time left in qualifying, but right now sitting on that pole. Truth Hoke has really come on lately in the past couple of seasons. Andrew Teft, as we talked about him earlier, he's picking up all 3 of those championships from last season. Troy Thomas, I would consider Troy to be really a great short track driver. James McRae is a newcomer. You and I know James, Russ, pretty well. He is going to be a fast driver. Alex Gates, Aaron Marquis, Gary Bowman, Dennis Kane back for another season. We missed him last season. He is back now. Kirby, always great. Jesse Fox has been putting wins on the board. So, man, there is just so many drivers here, Russ, but we got to nail it down to one, my friend. Who are you going to pick tonight to carry the flag, checkered flag, race 1, and then who do you have for the championship?
Well, I mean, it's it's going to look suspicious, but I haven't followed the next gen series as much as as you have. I have here or there, but I know that Ed Jurgen is always a contender, and I mean, there's one guy noticeably that I've noticed who is not here. I don't know if he's not running this season or if he's just not here for that race or for this race. That's Diego Rodriguez. I mean, that's another driver in this Racers Elite, who has been pretty dominant, throughout each of these seasons. But, like you said, Truth, has been really coming on to his own the last couple of seasons. He's picked up a bunch of wins. Andrew Teft, season of champions last season. I mean, sweeping all 3. I mean, how could you bet against a guy that's coming in with that kind of momentum? But, I from what I've seen and from what I know, I'm gonna have to go with Ed Jurgen for both. I'm gonna take him to pick the win tonight and for the season championship.
Double downing. Now, that's not a bad. Listen, that's a pretty intelligent thought process there, because if he wins tonight, he's automatically into the playoffs. So that is pretty good. Alan checking in with us again before he goes green, saying he is not trying to win the race to the beer stand tonight. So let's go through our qualifying results, and then I will give you my pick. But as you can see, Ed Jurgen is going to be your pole sitter. Truth is going to be second. Andrew Teft is going to be third. Troy Thomas in fourth. McRae in fifth. Alex Gates is going to be sixth. Aaron Marquis in seventh. Gary Bowman and Dennis Kane and Kirby are going to round out your top 10.
Yeah, then you got Jesse Fox going to put it in P11, and then Alan Bergen is going to start in P12. He was the last one to take time. So we've got Rob Yost, Eric Howard, Brandon Zimmerman, Kensley Smith, Hayden Malcolm, and Trevor that's going to round out this field. They decided to not lay a lap time down.
Yeah, so that is going to be 18 drivers that is going to take your field tonight. So now, if I am a betting man, I've got to tell you, I am not going out there on a limb. I am going to stay steady. Who is going to be the winner tonight? I'm going to go with our newcomer tonight. Oh, goodness, Andrew Teft. He's always one that's hard to beat against. And it does show right now. All right, there is Ed Jurgen. Man, tonight I think I'm going to go with that 27 machine in fifth place. James McRae, he's brand new here to Racers Elite. I know how good he is at saving tires, but for the championship, this driver, he has not slept on. But I can tell you, Gary Bowman, sitting in that 29 car, I just think that he's got good, steady pace. You're going to see him in every race. So that is going to be my championship contender. So here we go. It looks like that we are down already, and Ed Jurgen is going to bring them to the checkered flag now. Oh, and Ed is immediately going to spin the tires. Ed is already down. He is down pit road. Can he get himself picked back up? Spinning the tires early, and that is part of that update, Russ, on those new tires. Just super loose under power.
Yeah, definitely not the start I was hoping for on my pick here tonight. But yeah, like you said, the update, the tire models change on the second gen. Unless you've got some good heat in these tires, I mean, they're going to be loose under power, especially if you put the hammer down all the way.
Yeah, and that has given Truth quite the lead here. Now 0.6 of a second is going to be up now 0.7 over Andrew Teft. Andrew was able to grab that second spot. We haven't talked about Old Atlanta, but you can see Andrew working his way on the top line. That is a good quality, viable line through this track tonight. That bottom line, the tires will come in, but you can run this top line. Troy Thomas now behind him. And then you've got a couple of drivers that are going to fight it out, and that's going to be Alex Gates there and James McRae.
Yeah, Andrew Teft, looking to run down Truth here, but Truth's got himself out to about a 7/10 of the lead right now. Fairly clean start for these guys here at Old Atlanta.
Yeah, outside of Ed Jurgen, we're going to keep an eye on him. Now, everything is okay with Ed. He's only 20 seconds back. He can still make that back up. He just needs to stay patient. You know, you never want to rotate and spin those tires on the start, but it does happen. So he just needs to sit back, run a good pace and good lap times. As now it looks like he is a little bit quicker than the leader, as now McRae is going to go underneath in that 27 on Alex Gates.
Yeah, I mean, Ed spinning those tires and spinning himself to the infield on starts definitely not the end of the day for him. I mean, you know, like we said earlier, these bumps have kind of been atrocious to these drivers so far throughout practice and everything. But as these tires wear, it may become harder and harder to keep control of the car going over those bumps. So, you know, there may be plenty of opportunities for cautions to come out, you know, throughout this race. Red Bull back up to this field.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to happen. What he's got to do in that 92 is just stay calm, continue to turn lap times, and start chipping away at it. You're not going to be able to make that up immediately, right, Russ? But you know, a little here, a little there, and let the race come back to you. We know that that's a mistake, but then you just got to just take a breath and get back after it and start turning some lap times.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is, you know, letting that out of your head, just kind of get yourself back into a rhythm and just keep turning those laps. And over the course of this, I mean, we got 105 laps. We got just under 100 to go here already. You know, there's still plenty of time. You got pit stops. You can always make a bold strategy on pit road, potentially gain some of that time back. So there's still plenty of time for it.
Yeah, absolutely. There is nothing to rush about here for him. But as you can see now, Truth Hoke already getting run back down by Andrew Teff. So this is last year's champion, Andrew Teff, going to the outside. That 98 car up high, wide, and handsome, as they would say about Harry Gann. And he is going to take this over to Truth. Now, one of the things that I think that we've seen with Truth early on in some of these races that I hope that he really works on this season is making those tires last. Truth has that tendency to get out front and to really put some lap times down, but then all of a sudden you'll see him start to fall back because he just puts too much heat in them and gets those things burnt too quick.
A lot of these races are, you know, they're tire management races. I mean, the better that you can manage those tires, keep them nice and cool, the longer that they're going to last, you know, the better off you're going to be in the long run. And, you know, like you said, we saw it quite a few times, you know, in the trucks and in the ARCA series last year. You know, you get out to a nice lead, and all of a sudden, before you know it, the rest of the field is catching them. I mean, it's just a learning process, but like I said, Truth has been getting a lot better over these last couple of seasons and, you know, learning that stuff. So hopefully he puts that to the test this season and is a challenger for the championship in the end of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now you can see Alex Gates has a ton of speed. Now, you can see Troy Thomas has made that pass on Andrew Teff for the second position. Alex Gates now going around for your third position. And then right behind him, it won't be long before Aaron Marquis is now starting to work on Andrew. Now, you would think maybe Andrew's saving some tire there, Russ, but if he's doing that, why is he up against the wall there? So very interested to see what's happening, as now it looks like McRae falling off of the back of Teft, and Alex Gates is falling back into the clutches here of Gary Bowman. Now we've got a wreck. That is a caution. It looks like Andrew Teft. And who was that involved? We're going to go back and take a look at it.
I think that was the 41 of Aaron Marquis.
It was the 41 of Aaron Marquis. So Aaron Marquis out in front of Teft. Aaron just getting loose. Oh, and he just can't save it right there.
Nowhere for Andrew to go at all.
Man, just nothing that Andrew could do. Nothing the 41 could do after he bobbled. Did the very best that he could to save it. So just wrong place, wrong time for these drivers. Now, this will be our very first caution here of the season. And I got to tell you, what did you learn? Like, if you're in the back of your mind, you're talking to your teammates here, Russ, what did we learn on that first stint that we could take away?
Well, I mean, I think there's definitely some speed up top. Not sure if that's a good choice for a long run, but I mean, we know if you got a little bit of help, you can go to that high side and you can make a pass. But right now, I'm thinking that the bottom side of this track is the best way to go right now as far as tires go. I mean, we saw Andrew jump up there to the high side and then fall off. I mean, we don't know if it was a tire thing, if he just decided to back it off and stave a little bit. But I mean, there's definitely momentum on that on the high side for you to be able to make passes. But I just don't think right now. I think the bottom side is the best long run option.
Yeah, I agree with you. It does look like we had quite a few drivers stay out on this caution flag, and that is going to be right now Zimmerman, Smith, Fox, Malcolm, and Bergen. Actually, Trevor right behind those drivers stayed out as well. Now, let's spend a little bit of time here on this 15 machine of Kinsley Smith. So normally we see this driver in that Napa machine. Big Michael Waltrip fan. Tonight, Russ, RIP to our man Hulk Hogan, passed away, 71 years old from cardiac arrest. Looks like Kinsley bringing out that scheme tonight.
Yeah, I think I think Kinsley brought that out, hoping that the Hulkster upstairs could bring a little luck to him and make him run wild on this field tonight.
Yeah, I can tell you when I was a little kid, certainly he was one of my favorites, and then he left and he'd come back and he had the whole different persona and that sort of thing. But man, he's been around forever. Certainly hate to see him gone, but we lost another great one in Ozzy this week as well. So pretty tough week for some of our celebrities out there, but Kinsley Smith just giving homage there to Hulk Hogan. Never a bad thing. So here we go. Lights out on that pace truck. Brandon Zimmerman now is going to take over your lead in that really nice looking 65 machine. Bring them back down here. 13 laps already in. So, Russ, they are counting these laps down pretty quick tonight.
Yeah, and the one thing that's going to be really interesting now, being back here at the old Atlanta, is going to be seeing what the new tires are going to do versus the old tires.
That's a good point.
We're used to the super speedway version of Atlanta where tires really aren't a factor. Here, they're going to be a factor. So it's going to be interesting to see how these, top 6 guys that come down pit road, how long they're going to be able to fend off the guys that came down and took tires.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that, and we're going to see that now. So you could think maybe 11 laps on those tires plus a little bit of cool down time, right? So, and here they go. Now, we have another car spinning the tires. Oh, that is Trevor, and that is immediate caution, Russ. Let's go back and take a look.
Yeah, it's just some cold tires. I mean, the wheel spin is tremendous right now. I mean, you really got to ease yourself into the throttle.
Yeah, my goodness, some more damage by some of these drivers. Now, what that does help is that's going to help Ed Jurgen continue to move up these standings. And will we see some of these drivers now? If you're someone like Brandon Zimmerman, you chose to stay out maybe to meet some form of a fuel strategy that you have, some form of a tire strategy you've got. Do you come in now? And really, Russ, I got to say no, because, the disparity as these tires continue to cool between the fresh tires and these is going to be less and less the more laps they can turn here under caution.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but, you've also got, these guys up front who don't have those fresh tires. They've got worn tires. They're going to have just a little bit better grip on these restarts. So, I mean, they could probably go, for a little ways with them and kind of keep hoping that, every restart, somebody with fresh tires is going to bring on another caution. I mean, you get those bonus points for leading a lap. You get bonus points for leading the most laps. If you got to lead the most laps under caution, so be it. But I mean, yeah, right now, I mean, it's probably not a bad thing to be out there on those little bit older tires and have a little bit better grip on these restarts.
Yeah, it's a good point, and I feel like, maybe with these drivers, when you're looking at the next gen car, And this is obviously, Russ, this is that new tire model has thrown a wrench into how people drive these cars. So folks, if you're out there watching, this isn't a lack of skill or a lack of experience. What this is it's being used to having 1,000 restarts on one tire model and getting a new tire model. And that's what's happening right now at Old Atlanta. On top of that, we've got a track that's extremely warm. That's going to cause a lot of slippage. So, you know, that is part of what's going on here. But you got to think, Russ, maybe this is a time where you say, let me pop that thing in second gear. I don't want to fire this off in first. Let me just make sure I get a good, solid, quality start, and let's just go back racing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for first gear starts, your RPMs are going to be so much higher. You're going to get a lot more wheel spin. I mean, I think right now, definitely second gear start. But you know, it's like you said, you know, this new tire model. It is nothing to do with lack of talent out here. I mean, these guys have got a lot of talent. I've raced against a lot of these guys, and it has nothing to do with that. It's this new tire model. I mean, we even seen it with the GT3s and the you know,
GTPs
and the other the GTPs on the roadside.
Yeah.
You know, they did a tire model update on those, and it was the same kind of thing. You know, you used to going through these corners with a ton of grip, and then all of a sudden that grip is gone. It's almost like you have to completely relearn how to drive these cars.
Yeah, it really, and you know, just for a few laps, right? I think in your third or fourth lap, the tires come back in. It's just like the old car running the next gen like it has been before. But those first few laps, you're just finding out it's just so hard to put that power down. And you want to get a good jump. You want to push the car in front of you. But these drivers are just going to have to watch that. Listen, these are little hiccups that's going to happen the first race of a season. You've just got to take it for what it is. Now, as we restack these things, we're going to go back green. Zimmerman still at the bottom. Kinsley Smith still on the outside. But I will tell you, your pole sitter, Ed Jurgen, now back up to 10th position, now 9th. As we go back green here, Russ, he's able to catch up to the front part of this field now.
Yeah, that first caution really helped him. He was able to come down pit road, get some fresh tires on that after spinning himself out. The second caution put him right back.
Man, and it does look like we got another one down. And that's going to be Hayden Malcolm. Hayden is on the no caution. I think he's going to be able to get back on the track, but another driver spinning the tires. I do think Zimmerman spun the tire.
Yeah, he spun the 91 of Hayden Malcolm spun again, trying to get his car corrected. He's still fighting this thing, trying to get it going in a straight line.
Man, my goodness, this is going to be a pretty big loss here for Hayden Malcolm, as now Kinsley Smith is going to bring that Hulkamania machine to lead that lap there. 19 are going to be in the books. You can see all of that smoke as now Kinsley's going to hang this thing on the outside, and it looks like Truth Hoke with those fresh tires. He is coming, Russ, and he is coming in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, once we can get some green flag laps in here, we're going to really see those new tires, I think, just run over the guys that have not been to pit road.
Yeah, Zimmerman now in third. That is going to put Gary Bowman is going to be in fourth. Gary was one of those drivers that come down. McRae is going to be in fifth. He's in that 27 machine right behind Bowman. And now you can see Ed Jurgen. Ed really comfortable at Atlanta, picking that pole up. Ed already back up to 6th position.
Working them off one at a time. I mean, there's still plenty of time left to get back up front and make a run at this thing, but working his way up through the field one at a time.
Yeah, he's really using that outside line well. Now, you got to be a bit worried about that tire wear. You can see McRae feeding him some dirty air. Man, Ed just has that top line working there, Russ.
Yeah, I saw James get just a little bit looser in the center of that corner there, but able to hold on to it.
Let's go on board here with Jurgen. Getting right up against the wall. Now, you can tell he's really not pushing that car a lot. I don't hear a ton of tire wear up top here. Now, right there is what you don't want to see. So that driver getting on that throttle a bit early and is pushing all the way to the wall, that is right front wear in that car. And you're going to see him That's going to pay homage back. He's going to start falling back a little bit, Russ. I think later on in this run, as McRae is going to stick down to the bottom, save a little bit of tire. They're going to be side by side here on the exit, coming through the start-finish line. But I do believe Ed is going to get this pass done now. I'm just a little bit worried about where he's wearing those tires.
Yeah, it's like I said before. I think, you know, this high side's definitely got potential to be able to make passes, but I don't think it's a really good option to be running up there, you know, every lap. It's, you know, get your pass done, get back to the bottom. You know, but you got a lot of guys running the bottom right now, so you know if you're going to be making these passes, you're going to have to make them on that outside. And we see Ed still hanging it up out there on the outside. Yeah,
he is, and he is all over the back end of Gary Bowman now, as they are going to continue to fight. Now your lead is getting switched over. Is now Truth Hoke underneath of Kinsley Smith. Truth continue to work that bottom side just like you talked about, but I will tell you, these old tires of Kinsley Smith, extremely hard to pass. Is now Zimmerman's going to take a look on the inside. Zimmerman on older tires as well.
That's kind of interesting that he's able to still make that thing stick. I mean, he's digging for the spot. It looks like he might be able to get a pass made here.
My goodness, Russ, if I count this 2, 4, 6, maybe 10 cars. Let's see if we can go on some drone, get some drone action going on. As now Zimmerman is working that bottom line, turning really well in the center of that turn. Again, you can see that high line, see the 55, such a great run down that backstretch. But Zimmerman, look at that rotation right there, Russ, just getting through the center of the turn very well.
Yeah, I mean, really, it wasn't even on the bottom. It was kind of like that second middle lane there. You know, really got a really good launch off that corner. Now he's making a dive to the inside, going to try to battle for this lead here with Kinsley Smith.
Yeah, he will. And we're gonna slide right back here because we almost are 3 wide, and we might be 3 wide. We are now going down the backstretch 3 wide, heading into turn 3, and that is Yost, Jurgen, and Bowman.
Bowman going to back off just a little bit there, but Ed Jurgen's still trying to make a run on this outside, get around Rob Yost. Now we're 3 wide behind them.
Yeah, I will tell you, Bowman cannot get out of this 3 wide scenarios as he's going to back out of both of those. And man, he is going to lose about 4 positions right there. Now, Ed Jurgen, it looks like he has got that car just hung right against that outside wall. And he is working this thing as now Zimmerman back underneath of Kinsley. It does look like Zimmerman, he did have those older tires, but this is what you've got to take account of and think now. These tires are holding up for these cars as these 2 drivers in first and second here, Russ, they didn't come in and get fresh tires.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Truth Hoke, Ed Jurgen, anybody who came down pit road, and you're seeing these 2 guys are out there on 11 lap older tires than what you have, and they're able to still stay out in front of you and somewhat pull away from you. It's something you need to put in your back of your mind as we see Truth getting sideways coming out of 4.
Truth is now going to get into McRae and spin McRae around, and there is your caution. Yellow flag out on the track. Truth getting sideways.
I'm not sure if he just got loose or if he might have got a little help from the bumper, but.
And there he is, just spitting out. Let's see if we can get a hold of Truth here. And let's back Truth up. Oh my goodness, we got another driver taking a pretty nasty spill there. Oh, did he get some help there, Russ?
I think he got loose to begin with, and then Ed just kind of helped finish it.
Yeah, one of those things you got to be really careful. Yeah, it looks like he is loose. Yeah, absolutely loose. Yep. And then Ed's going to suck the remaining air off of that car. Truth is going to chase that thing down to the apron. And man, he's got it saved, but that car's already sideways. He's going to hit that berm and come right back up the track, and there is McRae, nowhere to go. Now these drivers do have a fast repair. I would assume that 27 is going to have to take that thing, and it does look like Truth is going to straighten her back up, but now the 11, oh, it's going to come right across his nose. That's a 41.
Aaron Marquis again.
Oh my goodness. Now what has happened to Jurgen?
Yeah, well, I just looked over and I see he is down on the apron trying to fight to get back up onto the racing circuit.
Oh, that
no.
is not good. Yeah, that's not good. You don't like to see that. It did look like Truth got that car loose, and then Jurgen was just there on the back end of him. I don't think Jurgen had anything to do with Truth getting loose there. Let's go back.
Yeah, I think if Truth goes back and looks at this replay, he's going to realize that that was not Ed's fault, and that was kind of uncalled for.
Yeah, that one's going to be tough. You hate to see that, because I don't think that that Jurgen had anything to do with that wreck. I do think that Truth got loose. Now, I can tell you, as we go back live here, now that's going to put Jesse Fox out there in the lead. We've got all kinds of drivers down pit road. Jurgen's down pit road. There is Truth coming back out, but this is going to reset everything. I think one of the things that you've got to take away already early on in this race is that you can get away with some tires if you can have a couple of caution laps, cool those things down. They will be able to hold on for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw those guys staying out on 11-lap older tires, and the guys that came down at that first caution and able to hold them off and even run away with it. Some still. So
yeah,
see how this plays out as it goes along.
Let's talk about this driver in the 69 car. So, he's been with Racers Elite for quite some time now. Started to put some wins together. He's had some great runs. Now out here in the Next Gen Series, Jesse Fox, we've really seen him in a lot of positions being quick. I'd look to see good things, Russ, this season from that driver as he takes that next step, comes over here to this Next Gen Series, and he's going to try to string together some pretty solid finishes, but saw a lot of good things out of that driver last season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he had a lot, better season last season, really consistent, getting some pretty decent finishes, and good to see him move up here to the next gen to give himself a new challenge.
Yeah, it really is. Now, I can tell you, one of the more impressive runs so far tonight is that 15 machine there in Kinsley Smith, taking that high line and getting some work done up there on that high side. And it does look like McRae now is still in the pits. That might be the end for him. I don't know if he unchecked his fast repair. Not sure what's going on with him, but now Jesse Fox bringing these drivers down here. 32 laps in, we're going to go green at 33. Nice jump, everybody nice and clean, no spinning the tires as we head off here to turn one.
I think these guys have kind of learned you got to ease yourself off of that throttle a little bit. So, yeah, nice clean start, and you see Kesley here trying to figure out a way between Troy Thomas and Jesse Fox, but looks like Troy's going to take that pass on the high side and take over this lead.
Man, that high side continues to be dominant on these early runs. Troy Thomas now out to a nice little lead over that 69 machine. So is Kinsley. Kinsley's going to make that pass. Rob Yost Jr. now getting by him. Gary Bowman is now looking to get by Jesse Fox. On that high side, Andrew Teft back in the mix of this thing. And there's Ed Jurgen right there, Russ. Back behind Gary Bowman.
Yeah, Ed came down that road, got those fresh tires, so give him a couple of laps, get them things warmed up, see if he starts making his way up through the field. We see Jesse Fox there kind of getting the wall coming off the road.
Yeah, I think if you can be patient and you can assume a long green flag run, I believe you're going to be okay. As now Gary Bowman peeking down to the bottom of Jesse. Jesse looks like he's got a little bit of heat back in those tires up on that high line right in front of Jurgen. Now Jurgen has nice fresh tires. Jurgen all over the back end of Fox. Getting a bit loose. Oh, we're going to check up behind him. June K is out there in chat, Russ, saying, how dare they hit my boy number 27. So June, that is James McRae. I will tell you, June, it is fantastic to see James out here running again. I haven't talked to him in a while, but fantastic to see him out here racing. This is where he belongs. Oh, now Rob Yost hard into the wall. That's going to be heavy right front damage there, Russ.
Yeah, not really sure what happened, but if he got loose and just overcorrected, or what happened there, but yeah, he got in the wall a ton coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to get himself back up to speed. Let's see if we can go on board with him. That wheel is still straight going down the straightaway. I think he's okay here, Russ. It might have just slowed him down a bit. Man, I will tell you, let's go back up front now. Through all of that mess, Kinsley Smith has put himself back up here in that top position. He was there earlier in the previous step before that caution come out, running that high line, and he is just a danger up there. Really hard to pass. He's working the tire wear perfect. But man, that guy in second, that is your champion. And he is on the hunt right now.
Yeah, Andrew looking to run Kinsley down here, but you know, we said it in that first, or you know, that second stint. You know, Kinsley was able to hold that top side and be able to defend off, you know, challenges for the lead. So it's interesting to see if you know, if Andrew gets to him, if he's going to be able to have anything for Kinsley here.
You know, one of the things I can tell you about Andrew, he is going to be patient. He's going to work inside of what he thinks that tire needs to be. So when you're on that steering wheel, you can feel it. Oh, Zimmerman super loose on the exit of that turn. Now, Ed Jurgen looking to the outside of Bowman. Those are teammates. They are probably in a chat together here. And I believe Ed is going to get that done. So this top line still proven to be the more dominant line as we go through these early stages.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't really think the top line was going to be, you know, good for a longer run. But I mean, this track temps come up to 114 degrees now. I mean, I think we started it like around, you know, the 108, 109. So track temps got up a little bit. So maybe moving up the track now give you just a little bit more bite than that bottom side will.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Zimmerman is going to be under attack by Alex Gates. I will tell you, I'm really impressed with Alex and how he has ran so far in this race. He's had a strong car. He qualified really well. One of those up-and-comers, I think, if you were to say one of the more improved drivers, I would think Alex would be in that conversation.
Oh, 100%. I think, you know, from what I've seen from him last season, I mean, I would honestly, you know, call him like the most improved of last season. I mean, you know, in the truck series and the Xfinity that they ran, or the ARCA that they ran, he was constantly up, you know, top 5, top 7 each and every week, battling, you know, for a podium, really. So, I mean, he's come a long way over the last couple of seasons that I've seen him running with the Race to the Elite, and I think he's going to be somebody you're going to have to kind of watch out for this season, even in the next one.
Yeah, I agree. Now, you can tell he's got a little bit of right front damage on that car, so you know that's going to hurt him a bit. Now, if we go back and take a look at Yost has went in. That was a driver that was in the wall a bit earlier. He is down pit road right now getting some service done, so I believe he had a little bit more damage than we even thought about. But now we're going to go right back up here to Teft. What in the world happened to Kinsley Smith? I don't show anything.
He's dropped all the way down to P13 right now, 16 seconds back. I don't know if he got loose. Might have got loose and spun himself out, but not enough to cause a caution. But
it shows that he left pit lane. I'm not sure. Let's go back and take a look, folks. I know we got some battles here in the background, but we're going to go back and take a look and see what happened. What happened to Kinsley? Did he come down and just take a regular pit? No, he got loose on the exit of that turn and shot it down pit road. Here he goes. There's the looseness. Man, he had to take it all the way down pit road. He's going to have that green flag or that black flag cleared for him. Man, that is going to turn this thing back over to Teft. But here is your pole sitter. That is Ed Jurgen. He is on the prowl, only 0.2 of a second behind now. Now, this Dennis Kane in that Ford machine, he has come out of nowhere, Russ. And that bright
really
green car in third now.
Yeah, he's really ramped it up the last, 10 laps or so. I've kind of been following him on my other screen over here, and he's been making some moves and working his way up towards the front. So impressive run by him right now.
Yeah, Eric Howard, we have not talked a whole lot about that driver, but he is right there in 4th position. But I got to tell you, Andrew is under attack. We saw Jurgen. He was your pole sitter tonight. Found a ton of speed. He spun those tires early on and has battled his way back, and here he is now. We saw him and Truth Hogue have a bit of a tussle a little bit earlier, but man, he is up against that high line, loving that thing. Now, what's going to happen to the tires here, Russ, as we continue to go, and we are now searching for halfway done in this race?
I mean, we're almost halfway. I mean, and Dennis Caden, he keeps taking a look through every corner. I mean, he's kind of coming. I mean, if he can get a couple of really good runs off the corner, he might be able to even make a pass on Ed here for second, possibly even start battling Andrew for the lead here.
Yeah, your top 5 cars are all underneath of a blanket. Now, Dennis K, looking to the left-hand side. He is underneath of Ed Jurgen. He is still working that bottom line.
Got a great run coming off of turn 2.
Great run, and he is turning really well in the center. As you can see him right there. Now, it does look like, oh, and he's going to get loose.
Push it just a little too hard.
Oh, he wanted that so bad, on the throttle a bit early, getting himself loose. Man, and he was jumping in the infield. Oh my goodness, and this is going to drop him all the way back to the very back of this field. Now, Andrew Teft still under fire. This is not over. 4 of these drivers, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all underneath of a blanket here fighting for first.
Yeah, Andrew's just gonna probably keep rolling the middle of the bottom here. Knows this a little on the safer side. Ed running up there on the top side. As I say that, Andrew moves up to the top. Block Ed run, but you know, you can see Ed up there running, but he's just not able to really get a solid run off of the corner to be able to make the run on Andrew. Right now, Andrew holding tough.
Yeah, Andrew's just really trying to guess where Jurgen's going to be. I got to tell you, these cars in 3rd and 4th, these are the ones I got to be afraid of, because it does look like they're staying more patient, and that is Howard and Bowman here in 3rd and 4th position. Now, all of these drivers, I mean, they are tire to tire, bumper to bumper, following each other around these turns. And in this next gen, Russ, you want to have clean air on that nose. That is what's the premium.
Yeah, you get any kind of dirty air, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And then, especially if you get somebody to be able to take that take the air off of your left quarter, you can start getting loose really quick too, and that could pose a problem too.
Yeah, and I do think that that's one of those things with the update that has come into play. As you can see, Jurgen, he's going to get into that wall. That is going to be a pretty hard push. Now we've got another driver loose. Eric Howard. Now,
what is it about P3 right now?
My goodness, and he is still loose. He is down at the bottom. Man, those rear tires are super hot for that driver. He is going to have to cool those things down. That is now going to just leave 3 drivers up front. Ed Jurgen now with a great run underneath of Teft. Teft trying to block that top line. Jurgen's going to be underneath of him. Where is Gary Bowman going to go? Is he going to follow the teammate, try to push him along, or is he going to stay on top with Teft?
Tell you what, if I was Gary Bowman right now, I would just kind of be sitting back and relaxing and trying not to push that car too hard. Because I'm currently running P3, and I just watched 2 guys who are running in P3 get loose off the corner exit and take themselves out of contention at this point.
Oh, and there he's going to turn him.
Leaders. Oh, no.
Let's go back and take a look. Let's go back and take a look as the drama continues here.
Say, again, can't really tell if Andrew maybe got loose as Ed was coming up, or
Ed is there. He's underneath everything nice and clean right here. And then there it is. It just looks like Ed did not turn.
Yeah, it looks like he just got tight and pushed up right up into Andrew.
Man, here we go on board. Oh, and there he is. He's already into him. Yeah, it just looks like Ed not able to get that car to turn. Man, Bowman is going to be able to slide by Teft is going to catch it, and I don't think he might have been able to catch it if he turned left a little there. Not able to do it. Oh my goodness gracious. Jurgen is going to retain your top spot there. Bowman is going to be in second. 55 laps of 105 are in the books. Wow. What a massive change of events here, Russ.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to be interesting to see what what race control does here, how they're going to call this, because if they find Ed at fault, he's going to end up going to the back of the field again. So it's going to it could change the leader up here, again. And, Bowman could end up bringing the field back to green. Just got to see how race control is going to play this out.
That's got to be on the 92. You know that either one, he is going to own that, or they're going to put it on him. That's got to be on the 92 there on the entry. Now, I will tell you, Teft is right now in third position, but is he going to try to save that fast repair and get some damage repaired, go to the back of this field, or is he going to take that fast repair immediately? As now you can see all of these drivers, we have got some craziness going on the exit of this thing. Truth Hoke able to take that thing to the lead there. Man, Dennis Kane in second. Dennis with a ton of speed, Russ. That guy has shown a lot of pace early on in this race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw him making a charge towards the front, and we see him get loose on on corner exit and go towards the back of the field. But it's a big change of events. He puts himself right back up here towards the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's Curtis Ecker there in chat saying, hate watching this and not being able to be on the track. This is my type of racing. It really is, Curtis. Where are you at tonight? I mean, normally we see that 8 machine out here. What's going on, man? Why are we not out here on the track?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is definitely your type of race, brother.
All right, so here we go. We're going to reset this thing. I do like that 4 machine. He has shown a lot of speed. Now, it did look like, Russ, later on in that longer run, it looked like he was a quick car, getting loose, running down to the infield, having to get to the back of the field. But now he is back up here up front. Man, he is fast. Truth Hoke having a bit of an issue there with Jurgen. Now he is back up front in the position that he wants to be in. But I will tell you, Zimmerman's been fast. I mean, my goodness, every one of these drivers here in the top 10 have shown a ton of speed early on in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, we're just past halfway. I mean, really, it's still anybody's race. I mean, a lot of these guys, you've seen them work their way from the back to the front. Something happened, go back to the back. I mean, we've seen a lot of these guys moving all around this field. So right now, it just seems like everybody's got the speed to be able to win. It's just going to be who's going to put themselves into that position coming into this thing.
Yeah, Curtis saying that he made the trip to see his grandparents there in West Virginia. Well, I will tell you this, Curtis, I certainly appreciate you tuning in here at Racers Elite Network. Thank you very much. As now that pace car, that pace truck is going to get off. So here we go. We're going to go green. 58 of 105 in the air. Truth Hoke with a fantastic drop. And now Dennis is going to get loose.
Able to save it for right now.
Man, Dennis Kane loose, and he is going to lose a ton of spots. Truth with a great jump right behind him. Zimmerman now. And Jesse Fox is right there, but there is that driver, Kinsley Smith, looking for third.
Kinsley working his way back up here. Had that little incident coming off of 4 while leading and having to go all the way down pit road, and working his way back up towards the front of the field here.
This is the story of Phoenix's tonight, isn't it, Russ? You think they're dead and they're gone, and here they are back up front as these cautions are helping some of these drivers out. Kinsley Smith, really one of those top-line drivers, sticking to that top line at Atlanta, this old Atlanta track. And here he comes. He is back on the march. But right now, leading this thing, Truth Hoke, Brandon Zimmerman, and then Kinsley Smith there in your third position.
Yeah, Truth out front. He's just trying to keep a nice steady pace. I think he's running the middle of the track. And I think right now that's a pretty good line that he's running. I mean, yeah, the high side's got a lot of speed, but as far as tire management goes, running that middle line really seems to be, the caveat of tire saving at this point. But
yeah,
right now, just looking to hold off Brandon Zimmerman.
Yeah, it's really intelligent by Truth, right? You want to work that bottom until somebody's around you. Then maybe you go up, you're going to defend up high, but right now just stay down to the bottom and try to save those tires while that driver trying to catch you is going to run a little bit harder. But I got to tell you, Zimmerman all over the back end of Truth now. He has found a ton of speed in that middle lane. He is going to check up now. Only a car length is going to separate these two drivers.
One other thing too, that with Truth running that middle lane like he was kind of throwing just a little bit of dirty air onto the nose of Brandon and kind of holding him back there. We see Brandon get just a little bit loose coming out of four, and this is going to bring Kensley Smith right back into the thick of it for a pass for P2.
Yeah, smoke coming out of that right rear for Zimmerman. Just cannot hold that thing down there on that bottom line. I do believe this top line is where you're just seeing a lot less rotation on the exit of these turns. Now Smith is going to be your second place driver. Hoke still leading this thing. Zimmerman is in third, and Gates now bringing up your top four.
Yep, we can't get out or get away from Bowman back there in fifth either. I mean, we've seen some speed out of that 29 car tonight too. Be interesting to see if he can work those in front.
Yeah, Eric Howard with a lot of speed. It just show Alan Bergen as Crash. We'll go back and take a look at that. But the 76 underneath now, Dennis Kane. Kane with that bad start is trying to find his way back. It does look like he's going to get that pass done and now start eyeing Bowman.
Yeah, a lot of speed out of that four car tonight. It's just he had that bad restart, spun those tires, got loose. At least he didn't spin it out, but he's able to keep himself with the rest of these guys. Now he's just got to settle in, start making these passes, and work his way back up towards the front. We see the 77 getting the wall.
Yeah, and man, it just sucks you right in there, Russ, and slows you down tremendously. That's going to allow Bowman to get down to the bottom. Bowman working that low line. And he is going to get that pass done. He's going to slide right up in front of Alex Gates and take that position over. Now Dennis Kane is going to start working the back end of these drivers.
Yeah, just slowly start working your way up through and hope you can keep those four tires glued to the ground.
Dennis Kane underneath of the 77 now. 77 starting to fall back a bit. Looks like he's trying to use that top line now, putting a little bit of an aero block on Dennis. Dennis staying underneath of him, and that's what you want to do about a left front fender underneath. Man, we've got some battles up here now. Back for your lead is now Kinsley Smith is on the outside. Zimmerman is back in this battle. Kinsley up high, Truth Hoke down below. Zimmerman right in the middle trying to pick a driver as we are now 1, 2, and 3 for your lead.
Yeah, you see Truth really sending it in there on the bottom, but just not really able to make it stick and rotate as well, and Kinsley able to get that run off that high side again and be able to hold on to the lead. But Truth's not going away, and neither is Brandon Zimmerman.
No, I agree with that, and I think Truth is still working at bottom now. Is that going to pay dividends later on in this race? Absolutely. If this thing goes green for a certain amount of time. Now, Kinsley Smith is going to touch that wall. It's going to slow him down a bit, and he is loose. We saw him drag down to the infield earlier on, and we've got to make sure that he keeps that car underneath of him. Now, Truth is going to go up top. Gary Bowman now in the middle line trying to make that pass.
It just looks like everybody's just trying to find what's going to work for them really well right now. I mean, you got guys running the bottom, running the middle, running the top. Looks like all three lanes are working. There's some kind of a benefit somewhere for all three lanes, which is kind of unusual to see, because usually it's it's kind of like a one-lane dominant area. But right now it just seems like you can get it done just about anywhere right now.
Man, Curtis is probably chewing his fingernails off out there in chat watching this thing as he wants to be a part of this. But my goodness, we have some fantastic racing going right now. Gary Bowman still all over the back of Truth Hoke. He is running that midline. Truth back down to the bottom. Alex Gates is going to stick that top. Right behind him, Dennis Kane back into the picture here.
I was just going to say, I was watching the battle back there with Dennis and Troy and Eric Howard. Pretty good battle back there with Troy looking on the inside of Eric Howard.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened to Andrew Teft here, Russ, because Andrew's still in the pits. Several laps down, now 12 laps down.
Yeah, I think I think Andrew might have used his fast repair on that first caution he was caught up in. So I think his race might be done.
Oh, that is oh, and there he is. He's loose, and he's going to get right into Bowman, as we just talked about, Andrew Teft. Oh,
just coming
my
out of
goodness.
pit road, got loose, and spun right up in front of the field.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see if we can go on board with him. We're going to back this up just a little bit, and we're going to play this in full speed.
That bump and just got loose.
Fresh tires at Atlanta.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, that is going to send Bowman to the pits out of nowhere.
And if I know Andrew's feeling really horrible right now. Being 12 laps down, coming out of pit road, hitting that bump, getting loose, and coming right up into the field
and
like
it's
that.
just a mistake that just never happens. Never happens with that driver. That is a championship winning driver right there. We all make those mistakes, Russ. What goes through your mind when that happens? You just want to crawl into a hole and just disappear.
I was just gonna say, all I would want to do is just Alt F4 and get out of there. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, it's not a mistake that, like you said, you know, we don't see him make mistakes like that. So when it does happen as a driver, you feel really, really bad about it. I mean, there was no way intentional. You know you're 12 laps down, and then you just came out and wrecked half of the field, you know, on a one-off incident. And you know, I know myself, I would just back out. All right, I'm done. That ends my night. I'm sorry.
It's so tough, and the reality is this thing isn't automatic. You don't automatically run well. You don't automatically win races. You know, and this happens. It has happened to me. It has happened to every single driver that is out here on the track, where you have that moment in time that is just an embarrassing moment for you, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Because once the car gets loose, especially this next gen, once the tires rotate over, you are really just along for the ride no matter what you do. And I've done it time and time again. Nothing to be ashamed about from that guy. The only thing that you hate is that Bowman gets caught up in it, and that's really what happens, you know, because he had to tow. He is still there on pit road, several laps down now. So you hate that for Bowman, but it's just one of those things, Russ.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's part of this sport and this sim that you know, that we do, and you just kind of got to push past it and move on to the next race.
Yeah, 32 laps are going to remain here at Atlanta. Daniel Hewitt, and they're saying, come on, Gates. I'm not going to finish, Daniel, the rest of what you said, but big fan here of that 77. I can tell you he has shown a ton of speed, Daniel, all the way throughout the night. So, yeah, really proud of what he has been able to do already early on in this season. Now, what you've got is Eric Howard. We saw him get down into the pit lane, getting loose earlier on, about 2 stints ago. Kinsley Smith, I would say, Russ, been one of your really predominant drivers out here, hugging that high line, and once he gets out front, almost impossible to beat. Zimmerman's been fast. Hoke's been fast. Man, we're going to have a great finish here with 32 laps to go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, watching these you know, the first 73 laps of this race, I mean, you got to expect that you know, Kinsley Smith or Truth Oak are going to be the ones that you're going to have to fight for this win. But don't look now. But that 92 Ed Jurgen right back up in the mix of this again.
Yes, he has 76, and now Brandon Zimmerman is going to take that high line. What a move by Zimmerman. Starting down at the bottom, getting a great jump. He's going to take that high line and get pushed around by Kinsley Smith. And now Zimmerman is going to take himself to the front. 76 still at the bottom. Hoke is going to go around him. Now Jurgen there looking to get around him.
Yeah, it was a very impressive move on that, by Brandon Zimmerman's part. I mean, he just got a great jump on that restart, able to jump right up in front of Kinsley and put himself in this lead. And now he's going to start trying to pull away.
Side by side, Jurgen all over the 76. 76 now trying to work that bottom. Troy Thomas now starting to work on the 76. So 76 getting fired off a little bit slower. Now, he did have some older tires. But man, here he is, Kinsley Smith. I got to tell you, Russ, this gentleman in that 15, he looks good. Hulkamania is on his side, riding along with him. He is going to take your lead.
Yeah, like we said, you know, Kinsley, once he gets out there onto that top side, he is one tough customer. Like I said, I think he's going to be the one here to beat right now. I mean, he has shown that once he gets up there on that high side, he is a hard guy to get around.
Yes, he is, and he is setting sail once again. Oh, now he's going to get loose, Russ.
I gotta quit giving him praise, man, because every time I do, he gets himself loose.
Oh, he's down in the infield. The 15 machine so fast throughout the night. He is going to need a caution now. James McRae is going to get by. Now they might go 3 wide trying to get through. Gary Bowman is back out on the track after getting that tow.
They're getting a little loose in front of Kinsley right there.
Oh my goodness, Brandon Zimmerman now back out the lead, and Brandon's going to get loose.
This race is going to come down to who can hold on to the car the best in these last, 20 laps or so.
We are slipping and sliding out here at Hot Atlanta now. Truth Hoke back out in front. Your initial pole leader, Ed Jurgen, is going to be back in second. It looks like it. It has been a prize fight tonight for Ed Jurgen. Somehow, some way, he has found himself back into second position. Truth Hoke and Ed Jurgen having a bit of a moment earlier on in this race. Now nose to tail. Man, we've got some drama brewing right here.
Yeah, for sure. And then you take a look back here in third guy, Alex Gates, in that 77, having we've said it time and time again, he's found himself to be up there inside that top 5, in the top 7 in a lot of those races last season. Had a really strong run last year. You know, by far what I would call the most improved driver up there running P3 right now.
Yeah, Alex Gates is on the move. Rob Yost is out there in chat saying, if you have saved the iRacing, go back and watch how I missed the wreck with the 98 and 41. I will tell you, I will go back and take a look at it. But Rob, man, such a fast car. What happened? Did we get some right front damage and it brought you back down pit road? But such a quick car throughout the early part of this race. Hate to see you out now on the hauler. Man, Ed Jurgen, Russ, he is starting to creep up on Hoke. Alex Gates is right there as well. So now we got a wreck in the back. That is Eric Howard. Let's go back.
Another yellow.
Yeah, and we are loose. You can see he's just loose there. Loose. He's going to chase it. Oh, he's going to overcorrect right into the 69.
Nowhere for Jesse Fox to go at all.
Just nothing he can do there. My goodness. That has been one of the more tame wrecks, Russ, would you say, tonight?
Yeah, for sure. And I was just going to say, too, that's one of the major distinguishing factors between this old Atlanta Raceway and the new Super Speedway configuration is just how loose everybody here is. I mean, it's like everybody's racing on ice tonight, and yet you go to New Atlanta and there's just so much grip. It's Super Speedway package. You don't get loose at the new Atlanta. Here, you're like you're driving on ice. And these guys all night long putting on a battle. I mean, they're going to come out feeling like they just went 15 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime.
I agree with you. Now, if you think about this, we got to come down and get tires, right? Because we're 23. No, Truth Hoke is going to stay out. Zimmerman's staying out. Gates is staying out. Dennis Kane staying out. Troy Thomas out.
Your guys staying out right now.
Wow, your only drivers that are coming down pit lane is Jurgen. Man, Jurgen's going to be in a good spot here. Russ, I don't know.
Looks like he just got fuel.
It does look like he just got fuel. Yeah, Rob's saying that that he would have been down to just one set left if he took a quick repair, which means maybe, Russ, this might be it for a couple of these drivers in tires.
Yeah, and that's going to make the end of this race really, really interesting. I mean, you got to look at how many laps, that these guys are going to have to run it if they are out of tires. How many laps are they going to have to put on these tires by the time the end of this race is, gets here? They're going to be crazy loose. We think they're loose now.
Now they're going to be able to cool it down here. And that is going to help them. So they're going to be able to cool these tires down. If I am Gates, if I'm Hoke, maybe even Zimmerman, I'm down on the apron trying to get as much cold track as I can over the top of those tires. You can see Gates, he is coming down. He is outside of that racing line. Truth is going to stick in that racing line. Man, you gotta you have to cool these tires off, because when you go back green, you want as much as you can. But yeah, Russ, I think maybe we've got some drivers here that do not have any tire sets left.
Yeah, it could possibly be, but I know, I think last season, they had four sets over the wall. So, I mean, to go 5 sets of tires in 105 laps, I mean, it's possible, especially if you're really burning those tires up, in 10, 12 laps. But I just know it's been kind of strange to go through 5 sets in a race, but it's possible here in Old Atlanta. We don't know. We don't really know much about Old Atlanta as far as how taxing it is on the vehicles. So
yeah,
it could very well be.
That is true. Well, I can tell you this. We had 18 fire this thing off, and we got 14 that are going to be out there on the track right now. And we have got the lights off. We are going to be 22, now 21 to go when we cross the start-finish line. Now, Truth Hoke in control of this thing. Alex Gates showing a ton of speed. Zimmerman is right back there behind him in third. Troy Thomas in fourth. Oh, we're going to go one more time around here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think they waved off the restart for some reason, and we're going one more.
So what do you think here, Russ? Round one, new fresh season. We've seen some fireworks. We've already got a couple of rivalries going on here. I feel like Ed Jurgen, maybe Truth Hoke, that might carry over. We'll keep that storyline going. Andrew Teft with championship driver with one of those mistakes you want to lay your head down at night and just completely forget about. Couple of drivers getting in the walls early, kicking those tie rods out, getting out of this race early. Rob Yost, one of those drivers. Alan Bergen, another one of those drivers. But man, the storylines are thick already here in race one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Especially, this tire situation is strictly the update. It's going to be really interesting to see when we get to some of these other tracks what these cars are going to do. I mean, we think they're loose here, but my goodness, some of these other tracks it could be even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Now those lights are definitely out there on that pace truck. We're going to bring these drivers down. They're going to have 20 to go when they get to the start-finish line. Truth Hoke choosing that outside line. He is in that Geico restart zone. He is already on the pedal. Troy Thomas with a great jump as well. Alex Gates all alone down there on the bottom. Not a bad jump there by Alex, but man, this bottom line just does not work early on.
Now it looks like the top line has a lot more momentum on these restarts, but Alex able to slide up, stay in P3, but man, yeah, a great run out of Troy Thomas back there in that number 3, working his way up to P2. I gotta tell you, I'm used to seeing Troy in the Dale Earnhardt painted GM Goodwrench AC Delco paint schemes, but as a guy that has every one of their vehicles on iRacing painted green and black, I like that paint scheme, John. I think that's my new favorite paint scheme of the season so far.
All right, well, I will tell you this, my friend. Truth Hoke has been shot out of a cannon, but I will tell you, Kinsley Smith is back up in this mix again. Do not count him out. Zimmerman is back there. Now, Zimmerman, to me, seems like the driver really looks to help those tires out, keep those tires under him all the way through. Now, Kinsley Smith, underneath of Alex Gates, he might be able to get that done. He's not going to be able to get it done coming out of 2. He's going to need some help from Zimmerman. And Jurgen back in the mix now, Russ.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one driver that I know is hungry is that 65 and Brandon Zimmerman. I mean, he had a whirlwind of trouble last season. You know, wasn't able to run a lot of the season. I know that he is hungry to get out here and get a W or you know, a really good finish out of this first race of the season. So it'll be really interesting to see what that 65 car does in these last 17 laps to try to get himself into a position to bring home a win, because I know he is hungry.
Well, he is painting that bottom line. Now, Kinsley Smith now shooting underneath the Troy Thomas. Man, he is shot out of a cannon. We talked about Truth a little bit earlier. Now, Truth is going to be 0.8 of a second up on Kinsley, but Kinsley's going to make that pass for second. That's going to push Troy back to third. Alex now in fourth. Here is your battle. Ed Jurgen on the high side. Zimmerman down below. Ooh, he's going to get up right beside of Zimmerman, Russ.
As I've seen that 92 get just into the wall just a little bit, but Zimmerman didn't necessarily give him that big of a gap fit, but he made it fit.
Sparks are flying and the gas pedal is down. Jurgen now back behind Zimmerman. Zimmerman closing the door on him. He just needs some laps. 15 to go. I don't know if he's going to be able to get that done. Now, Kinsley Smith starting to track down Truth Hope. Only 0.5 of a second is going to separate these two drivers. 15 laps to go. We are going to come to 14 on that start-finish line. Kinsley is on the hunt here.
Yeah, he got back up there to that high side. He's going to start tracking down Truth, and you know, if Truth just keeps running his line, he's going to make it hard. But you can't count that 15 out because he has been strong all day long. You know, he's got himself loose a couple of times, but he's worked his way right back up. He's not been out of control. He's getting loose again. He's in the wall.
He is in the wall. I don't know if that's going to bring out a caution. I don't think it will. He's going to keep it going. And my goodness,
damage from that.
He has definitely got damage for that. A great day turns worse for him. Now Troy Thomas is going to keep this thing going. He is in second position now. Ed Jurgen right on the back end of Zimmerman. All of these drivers a second and a half away from Truth Hope. That is what Truth needed to see. Something happening there to Kinsley.
Yeah, I mean, if this thing stays green, I really don't think there's enough time for Troy or Brandon Zimmerman or even Ed Jurgen to be able to get up to Troy or get up to Truth. I think Truth's got pretty clear sailing if this thing stays green at this point.
Well, what was 1.5 seconds now, Russ? Only 1.3, so Troy has found something. I don't know if Truth maybe pushed that thing. He might be out there saving a bit of tire for the end of this race, but 1.3 seconds is going to separate him and Troy Thomas. Now, Troy looks like he's kind of log jamming Zimmerman and Jurgen on the back ends here.
Just running that middle line, throwing a little bit of aero block on these guys, trying to keep them behind him. But I mean, he's holding strong right now.
Another 10th is going to be off of your leader. Last lap, a 31.58 from Truth Hope, a 31.48 from Troy Thomas. Now, Ed Jurgen with a fantastic run there outside of 2. He is going to get that done on Zimmerman in a hurry.
Got a great run coming out of the corner there, and yeah, made that move, and now he's up there on that high side. He's going to try starting to track him down.
Jurgen now loose. Zimmerman coming back. Jurgen in a podium, getting that thing loose. My goodness, they are sliding all over this track here, Russ.
I know Truth's got to be up there looking through his mirror and say, yes, just keep getting loose, guys. Quit running me down and just keep getting loose.
But it is coming. Troy Thomas, it has been a while since we've talked to this gentleman. He is going to want this thing. It was 1.3, 1.4 seconds. Now it is less than a second, Russ. 0.9 coming to the start-finish line. He is tracking Truth Hope down.
Yeah, Troy, I mean, he's had a solid run all night long. Really haven't seen too much out of Troy here, you know, throughout this whole race. We're coming down to 9 to go, and yeah, he's starting to make some moves and starting to run Truth down. Now down to 0.7 of a second.
0.7 of a second is going to separate first and second. Zimmerman has not let Troy go either. So if Truth gets run down, now Zimmerman is loose. Oh, he's still loose. Hold on to it. He's going to spin it down to the infield.
My goodness.
Zimmerman is now gone. We are still green. Ed Jurgen now pops himself right back into a podium position, but the battle is still going to be with this gentleman right here in this 3 machine. He is tracking down Truth Hoke in that 55.
It is so hard right now, John, to really focus and talk about anybody who's had a good run going, because it just, you never know. Oh, you see somebody down there destroyed on the bottom.
Destroyed there on the bottom. I don't know if they're going to get themselves to pit
Zimmerman.
lane. I do think it was Zimmerman.
But it's just so hard to talk about people because it just seems like, you know, you can't really predict who's going to be able to maintain or hold their car before getting loose off of a corner. Seems like you talk about how somebody's got such a great run coming, and then next thing you know, they're sideways coming out of turn 4 or turn 2. And it's like, oh, there's that commentator's curse again.
Yeah, I will tell you, man, it is like juggling out here tonight. You just never know what's going to happen. Here he is, Troy Thomas, coming out of nowhere in that black and green 3 machine, just like you talked about. Normally seeing him in some sort of Earnhardt scheme. He is now, Truth is loose now. That is going to open the door here for Troy.
Troy right on Truth's bumper now after Troy getting loose coming out of 4. We're going to have a battle for the lead. We got 5 to go. This is going to get interesting.
5 to go. It looks like Troy is just under control here, Russ. I just haven't seen him bobble this car all night long. Truth is fighting that thing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, I've kind of been watching Troy here and there throughout this. As we talk about it.
Oh.
Again.
The next driver off of the track is Troy Thomas. Now Dennis Kane is back into a podium position. Ed Jurgen is going to bring up your second spot, and he is starting to gain on Truth. Now 0.6 of a second. Troy kicked out of the back of this thing. He is going to fall all the way. Where is he going to fall to here? 6th position.
I don't know. I can't fathom what I'm seeing. It's like every time we start talking about, you know, I was literally just gonna say, you know, I've been watching Troy off and on all night long. You know, we really haven't talked about him until the latter end, you know, last 25 laps or so of this race. But he's been like, he was, you know, throughout this race, he seemed like he was the one with the most control over his car. And I was literally just gonna say that, and then yeah, he did that. So whoever's going to win this race is going to win this race at this point.
Well, I will tell you, it does look like Hoke is still in control, but only 0.3. I've been just watching Jurgen sneak down this straightaway. These two drivers with a bit of drama earlier on. Is Tef going to get out of the way? It doesn't look like he's going to stay right there and kind of feed Jurgen some air. Now only 2 laps to go. 1 lap is going to be thrown in the air here. White flag for Truth Hoke. Dennis Kane right behind Jurgen. Andrew going to stay on that high side. Man, Jurgen really needs that 98 to move. It's not going to happen now. Dennis Kane is going to be right underneath of Jurgen. He might try this low line. Jurgen not blocking the low. Dennis is going to take it. Truth Hoke coming around. He is going to pick up your win in race 1 here in your Next Gen Series. Jurgen second, Dennis Kane in 3rd.
Oh, we got a little post-race extracurriculars going on here.
Jurgen is going to wind up around backwards. Man, this is going to be something. Let's go back and take a look here.
Well, I do just want to say that these guys do a lot of this stuff after the race is over, just as a, you know, as joking around type of thing. So I've already seen a whole bunch of other guys doing it. So let's not lay into that too awful much.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, here you are. That 55 machine is going to count another victory here at Racers Elite.
We talked about it earlier, John. You know, the last couple of seasons and all 3 series, Truth has really kind of come into his own. I mean, tonight, I feel like a lot of it was just maintaining that car and running what was comfortable to him, and just letting everybody else do what they were doing, and that really solidified this win for Truth here tonight.
It really did. Fantastic job by that driver. Now let's see if we can pull some drivers in here. Dennis Kane is going to be your third place driver. Now we have not seen Dennis in a while, and I got to tell you, what a great job by that driver. And we're going to see if we can pull him in the booth, and I will take care of that interview. Hang on just a second. Let's pull him in. I think we got him here. Dennis, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How you guys doing?
Oh, man, Dennis. Well, first of all, welcome back here. Racers Elite coming back. First race of the season here in the next gen, coming home third. I thought you had one of the faster cars all the way throughout the night. First of all, talk to me about this track. And secondly, how did we be able to manage ourselves here to a podium finish?
Track was slick, real slick. Mainly what I did is I just tried to roll the center, seemed to be the safest place. Um, and yeah, you just had to be real easy on the throttle, super easy. Yeah, I thought I had some real good pace. That it's one of them races, and that happens where you think you have the speed to win. It just doesn't happen. I got gobbled up on a few of them restarts, and I think that's what really hurt me.
Well, man, you did, and you come home in a podium position. And anytime you can finish in the top three, we will certainly take it. Dennis, fantastic job. Welcome. Cannot tell you how happy I am to have you back here at Racers Elite. Man, we'll turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs.
Cool, thanks, John. Yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be here with you guys. Shout out to Racers Elite. Who's broadcasting tonight?
That is
REN.
us, Racers Elite Network.
Yeah, shout out to REN. Shout out to Mid Atlantic Racing. Shout out to Drivers Inc. for letting me in their chat tonight. And yeah, let's hope we can have a good season. Shout
Fantastic.
out to Shimco Diecast as well. I know Colton's no longer taking commissions on diecast, but Shimco Custom Diecast and Shimco Custom Designs, check them out on Facebook. Carson, host of ours, actually got their logo on their car for the late model race, and awesome work. So give them guys a look.
Congratulations, man. Look forward to a lot of impressive runs from you this year in the Next Gen Series.
Appreciate it, Ross. Thank you.
Yep. All right, so there is Dennis Kane. He is the third position. Let's see if we can find, where is our man? I don't think we have Jurgen in the chat, so we're just going to pull Truth in here as your winner, Russ. So let me see if I can pull him in. I will start that interview and I'll let you ask a couple of questions. So let me see if I can pull him in. Truth, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, this was a prize fight. So first of all, we got to ask, this is just from a broadcasting standpoint. We want to create a little bit of drama. Walk me through that earlier incident there with you and Jurgen. And man, how did you come back to get this win done?
Well, that was like the third time that's happened to me with him, and I don't usually do it, but I lost my cool a little bit, and I don't usually do that, and I just couldn't take it no more. I was running pretty decent, and how I come back, I do not know. I got lucky.
Well, I don't know if lucky has anything to do with it, because as those drivers were catching you, they were just getting loose one by one by one, almost like a merry-go-round, and you just kept that thing, that 55 machine, pointed straight forward. Man, it looked like it was just extremely slick out there tonight.
Yes, it was. It was slick. Kinsley there at the end. Kinsley was coming, and then he got loose. Like you said, he got loose, and then I got loose, and Troy got on me, and Troy was coming anyway, and I figured he's going to pass me. And then when he got loose, I thought, oh God, maybe I can hang on. Maybe I can hang on. And so I got lucky and hung on. I got lucky that everybody else got loose, and
Man,
I won. So that's great.
Truth, I don't know if I would call it lucky, man. That is skill. You were the one with that steering wheel, and you were able to hang on to that thing. Rush, you got anything here for Truth?
I just want to ask, how many rounds do you feel like you just fought with Mike Tyson in his prime after that race?
Oh, a full round. I mean, full Mad, full mad.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier. I was, watching all these guys get loose. I mean, I don't know how many times tonight we saw the leader, leading the race out, have a second and a half gap, and then just get loose coming off the forward, go through the infield, wind up in the pits. Don't know how many times we see that, and then battle it back. It was just seemed like it was just a hard fought night all night long, and that's what I said earlier. I was like, man, it's like every one of these drivers has gone, so many like 15 rounds with Mike Tyson in his prime. I'm sure they'll be glad to get this race over with. But great run tonight. Way to get back up there and bring home this W. And man, we'll see what happens next week, buddy.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey, Truth, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife, my team, Misfits with Troy and Jesse and all of them, and you, Andrew, for putting on this great league, and you guys for broadcast. I cannot wait to watch this back tomorrow.
Well, I promise you, you're going to be entertained, my friend, because we were in the booth screaming and yelling like a couple of fans out here watching you guys run around this track. So congratulations. Great win. Way to go in setting the stage for this season. Man, I will tell you, you got to be one of those drivers that everybody's looking at to beat. So congratulations, sir, and we'll get you back to your team and let you celebrate.
All right, thank you, John.
Thanks, Truth.
Thank you, Russ.
You got it, Truth. Have a good one, buddy.
You too.
All right, so there you go, Russ. My goodness, I will tell you, just like we talked about, I was just a fanboy out there tonight watching these drivers get around this track.
Yeah, I mean, it was, nothing less than entertaining. I mean, if you weren't entertained by watching these guys, try to hold on to their cars, try to manage those tires. You've got the emotions flowing and everything. What are you doing? I mean, this was old school style battling racing right there. I mean, this was so much fun to watch tonight. And if this is the sign of anything to come to this season, man, I can't wait to see what the rest of the season brings, because it's going to be really exciting.
Well, not only will we see what they bring, but we're going to bring it to you. Russ and John in the booth. So happy to have you here on Racers Elite Network. Russ, you and I are going to sign off tonight, but man, we are going to be back here next week, same time, same place. We are going to tackle another track, and we are going to see if these drivers can hang on to these things as we go throughout this season.
Yes, sir. It's been great being back in the booth with you, and we'll see everybody next week, see what kind of fireworks we can bring.